Okay. Well, if everything's working right, this is Thursday morning, March 19th. This is I guess you could say, my first video lesson plan agenda that I'm sending out this morning to my first hour US history class. So, kind of an update as we enter day 4 of cabin fever, day 4 of Corona, day 4 of doing whatever we're doing. So, let me give you guys the latest update. And as I said in my earlier letter at the beginning of this pause in school, is obviously things are going to change. We're kind of like an uncharted territory for everyone. And so here's the latest update. So um, as for grades, right now, we all know that Synergy is our master grade book. Synergy is our master grade book. Um, I know that we have Google Classroom. I know that we have Illuminate, where sometimes things are graded, but Synergy is the master grade book that goes into report cards and stuff like that. So as of right now, nothing is going to be added into Synergy. So kind of where we left off last week in Synergy. Um, Nothing's going to change. So no grades are going to be added. No grades are going to be zeroed. So kind of what we're doing right now, I guess you could say, is just doing a lot of, formative assessments, hopefully still doing some work, doing some learning, but nothing is being graded. So I know that Google Classroom may show you points, or maybe if you took a test on Illuminate, but Synergy is the master grade book and that is on hold. So here's our agenda for Thursday. Your on deck is on our class site, and so go ahead and do your on deck, and you'll still submit it on Friday if you want. That's optional, of course. And again, it won't be graded for points, but you have an opportunity to turn in. That's been our routine all year, and you guys know it's pretty simple. And if you continue to keep doing it, that'd be great. But it will not be graded for points. Um, World War II test that we finished up last week is still on Illuminate. So even though it's 27 questions, Illuminate will give you a score based on how many you got right. So if you want to do it, you can. And if you don't do it, I guess you don't do it. But again, those grades are not going to go into Synergy. But it's a good way to take it on Illuminate to see what you would have got, and just maybe go back and look at maybe some of the questions that you missed. I will attach to this link on Google Classroom today what the test looks like. So if you don't go to Illuminate, maybe you can look at it and just kind of go through the questions and see what you know, see what you don't know. Yesterday, I encouraged you guys to do some reading about the Nuremberg trials. That was the end of World War II, where we took some of the Nazi leaders, and really, again, it was about punishing the Nazi leaders, not the German people. In the Nuremberg trials, that put some of these head top Nazis on trial, and how some of them were sentenced to death. And I had you kind of compare and contrast to what went on in the Asian theater with Japan and the war crime trials that went on there. I've attached to our Google Classroom a recent one. It's really not that recent. I keep forgetting, how fast time goes. But in 2006, it was the trial of Saddam Hussein, the leader of Iraq. This was during our second war with Iraq, and the invasion, I think, was in 2003. We captured him about a year later. The trials in 2006. Anyway, crimes against humanity, where Saddam was accused and charged and found guilty of using chemical warfare, poison gas on some of his own people, and he was sentenced to death, and he was actually hanged. And so I put together a real quick PowerPoint that kind of shows Saddam as the president, his capture. He was on the run for about a year, and we ended up finding him, I believe, in the city of Tikrit. This would be something, if you want to look up, you can. And he was hiding in what they call like a rat hole, like an underground mini tunnel. And we pulled him out, and there's a picture of that. And then he was put on trial. I got pictures of that. The execution, I'll kind of leave that up to you if you want to follow that. So when he was sentenced to hang, he was taken, obviously in secret, to one of his gallows where he was going to be executed by hanging. And in the crowd, there were not very many people in the crowd, but there were some people in the crowd, and there were people in the crowd heckling him, saying things. And then somebody in the crowd had a cell phone. And just like in first hour, how people have their cell phones out when they're not supposed to. But anyway, and how somebody had their cell phone and they actually recorded it. And so I'm not going to post that on our class site, but I'm not even sure if it's on YouTube, to be honest with you. I think parts of it are, but I'm not sure if the whole execution is or not. But I'll leave that up to you if you want to look that up. So it's kind of like, again, we have war crimes that still go on today. So that's something, if you are interested in looking up, you can. So real quick review. Nothing is being graded. Nothing is being updated on Synergy. Your on decks are still available for you to do each day if you would like to. We're still going to submit them on Friday, but they will not be graded. If you want to take a practice test on World War II, it's on Illuminate. I'll have the link also attached to Google Classroom if you want to look it over. War crimes, again, yesterday you kind of looked at Nuremberg in Japan post World War II, and today if you want to look up and view the capture and trial and execution of Saddam Hussein, I've got a couple links on that PowerPoint that you can look up and read if you want to. So that concludes Thursday. Get outside today, get a walk in, get a run in. It's going to be some good temperatures. Rain's going to move in today, so if you get a chance to get outside, do some exercise. Yeah, I'm going to do some exercise, and I haven't shaved in a while, so I'm kind of, it's cabin fever big time here. So anyway, that's what we got going on. Any questions? Obviously, you can email me. I check my email throughout the day, and hopefully I could answer any questions you may have. And that is today's update, U.S. History First Hour.